All right, today we're going to go ahead and dive into meal prep, but we're going to be very specific because we're going to talk about the meal prep plan in the program. Okay. So I know some of you have been with the program for a little bit and you've done some meal prep, but we are going to go ahead and level it up. We're going to go ahead and get it to that next level of actually being able to meal prep. Now, let's talk about what meal prep really is. Meal prep is something that we've heard for years. And it sounds cool. It also sounds easy, but then you do it and it turns out to be really hard. It's also something that can fall off very easily. Sometimes we start meal prep for 1 week and we realize that it can be either very hard or maybe it's something that we're good at because we can be very organized and we enjoy being in the kitchen. But then the week after we fall off. There's a lot of benefits to meal prep. It can honestly be the game changer for you actually achieving all of the fitness goals that you have. And meal prepping, it actually eliminates all the last minute unhealthy choices and it helps keep you on track. Okay, now in your program, if you're part of the Savage Pros, if you're part of Savage Essentials, you don't get this, but if you're part of the Savage Pros, you guys get the customized meal plan, right? It's already broken down with all your complete macros. It gives you video recipes. There's over 1,000 different options for all of the meals. And your task is to prepare them, right? And today we're going to do a deep dive into making that as smooth as possible. Okay. The idea of why the meal plan is in there, it helps eliminate the desk work. You don't have to worry about calculating your macros for each meal. It's already preset for you. So as you can see, my default account right here, my calories for the day is roughly, I'll tell you exactly what it is actually, based on what I have, 2,000 calories a day, right? And my protein goal is 150 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, 67 grams of fats. This number right here is already accounted for when your meal plan is created for you. So you'll see that there's some variance, right? Obviously, this one's under 2,000 calories. This one's under just by a little bit. This one's almost right there. We can have a 20% variance from the actual meal plan as long as we are not going dramatically above it, right? And I'm going to show you how to use this in case you haven't used this before. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you're taking notes. And if you're watching this live, make sure you're taking notes as well. Okay, portion control is also very helpful with this because you already have an idea of what you're going to have for breakfast, for lunch in this column, as well as for dinner. It gives you a really good idea of portion control because you can click on the lunch one and you can see this makes one serving. And your ingredients are already here for you. It tells you exactly what to use. It tells you the prep time. It tells you how long it takes to cook. And as you can see, it's 55 grams of protein, 53 grams of carbs, and 32 grams of fat. 691 calories per serving, right? Now, we come back here. And if we were to add this one with the protein, the carbs, and the fats here, with the lunch and with the dinner, we would get relatively close to our goal protein for that day. So it's already accounted for, right? It's time saving. If you invest a few hours once or twice a week, you can save time each day. It helps with consistency. Doing this, following through with this helps with consistency. It's easier to hit your macro goals and keep your nutrition in check, which is going to help you in the long run. This is the magic sauce right here. Like going to the workout, going to the gym and doing the workouts is great. But the thing is, it all comes back to the rudimentary elements, which is the kitchen. You don't build abs in the gym. That's true. Because you can build ab muscles. But the thing is, all of the fat that is surrounding your ab muscles, all that visceral fat, you're only going to burn that and properly maintain that if you follow the macro diet that's given out for you, because you have to eat that much. Right? I don't want you starving yourself. That's not what this is about. And honestly, if you are way too low, if you're way, way below your numbers, you don't have enough energy to actually do the proper workout the way that you would do it if you ate the right amount of calories, proteins, fats, and carbs. Now, your personalized meal plan on the app, if you click on your little fork and knife at the bottom of your app, you'll be able to see it. Okay. Macros are already split across all the meals, as I mentioned, as well as fats, proteins, and carbs. And it's designed to completely align with your fitness goals. Now, whether we have decided that we're going to have you lose a pound, half a pound, maybe 2 pounds per week to do it the right way, we've already kind of come up with your specific macros. Okay. And I've also provided specific meal suggestions with the recipes, as you can see here. These are completely customizable, right? You can choose to, let's take a look at this day, right? So let's say that this is today, right? Because I'm pretty sure today I logged something this morning as a test to see. Right, I did. So one meal added, and I can see that I logged lunch here, and I did a Chipotle burrito because I wanted to see what it would look like. So this was a test. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete this. Actually, I'm going to do this for tomorrow. So this is going to be tomorrow's day, right? I'm going to show you how to do this on the phone now, because we can show you how to do it right here on the app, but I want to show you how to do it on the phone. So in a minute, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to rotate the camera so you can actually see my phone. I'm going to have my profile pulled up so you guys can actually see how I do it, right? But before we do that, I want to show you right here in the meal plan. This is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There are so many options. When you hit swap, all the options are here of what you can do. All right. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? I'm going to mute you real quick, all right? All right. Now, we're going to switch to the phone now. So let me stop sharing screen. All right, and I'm going to rotate the camera so you guys can actually see the phone. Put on Do Not Disturb. And if you have any questions, feel free to take yourself off mute and ask away. That's completely okay. I'd rather answer the question right here now and then than for you to forget about it. And I can't see the chat. So, Sam, if you can monitor the chat, that would be great if anyone has any questions.
Sounds good.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate this. So for a while, there wasn't really any way for me to create an account for myself as a coach on the fitness app, but now there actually is a way. Oh, this is backwards for you guys, isn't it? It is. There's a way to rotate it. I just got to figure out how.
No, it's not coming through backwards on our end.
Oh, it's not? You guys can see it?
Looks legit.
Okay, cool. So, sorry, I don't want it to be like. Oh, God. All right, here we go. So, looking at the account. Today, I'm going to remove the meal I added because I want to be able to start fresh for today. That way you guys see exactly what each day can look like for you. So as you can see, my diary is empty for today, right? Well, if I go to my little meal option, these are the meals that are slated for me to eat this day. However, because I want to meal prep, day 1, day 2, and day 3, I'm gonna make them all look the same. And this is what I do. So for day 1, I go, and this is my breakfast option. I'm going to swap this one out by pressing the little circular button up here. Swap it out. So you guys can see this fine. It's not backwards for you. Okay.
Not backwards at all.
I don't know why, but I'm seeing it backwards on my screen. All right, so this is breakfast. So to meal prep, breakfast is the easiest one because typically it doesn't take long and there's very simple recipes here, right? So we're going to find one that doesn't require meal prep, and then we're going to find one that does. So let's find one that does not require meal prep. So creamy matcha bowl. All right, there's a video. We can watch the video. Vanilla almond milk, oats roasted regular, matcha green powder, and you stir it up. It takes about 10 minutes total, it says. Then you add egg whites, 0-calorie sweetener. And you've just made yourself a creamy matcha bowl. Looks like he's going to add some hemp seeds and some blueberries. Now, let me be clear. If you don't have all of these items, it's not the end of the world. You can still make it. You can even add a little bit of honey without having to change the calories, proteins, fats, okay? A little bit of honey is not going to change it too much. But we can see the ingredients are here, right? And we can see the directions are here. This is something you can make in the morning that you don't have to necessarily meal prep. Now, if you do want to meal prep that, that's fine, but let's find something that actually requires more meal prep time, right? So let's see. So matcha overnight pudding. This is something that you could make yourself for maybe 4 or 5 days, and store it in the freezer, right? Or not in the freezer, in the fridge. Let's see. Most of these are pretty simple. Okay. If you guys see one you like, take yourself off mute and call it out.
I like the pudding one. That looks good.
Which one?
The matcha pudding one. I haven't really made any.
Oh, the one we just had open?
Yeah.
Overnight pudding. Let's see. So matcha overnight pudding. This one doesn't have a video, but typically that's because it's a little bit easier to make. So you can see the ingredients. Mango frozen chunks. Okay. 3 tablespoons of unsweetened coconut flakes, Greek yogurt, plain non-fat, vanilla almond milk, chia seeds, matcha green tea powder, oatmeal, or rolled oats, regular, quick dry uncut. So this is something that you could meal prep. And the way that you would do it is because this one still says 1 serving. Basically, what I do is on my Sundays, I find the recipes that I want to have. So let's just say that this is one of the recipes I want to have. I typically screenshot it because then I can come back to it easy. All right. So I got a screenshot. Then eventually I'll open up that screenshot and I'll see what I need. I may already have the mango frozen chunks. I may already have the unsweetened coconut flake, but let's just say we're starting from square one. So you're going to write out a list of all the items that you need. Now, keep in mind, if you know that you like this one or you think you might like it and you want to make it more than once, you're not going to just get 3 tablespoons of unsweetened coconut flakes. Maybe you'll grab a whole bag of it, right? The Greek yogurt plain non-fat, you're going to get a tub of it, right? Vanilla almond milk, same thing. And then you have these items already in your fridge. So the next time that you have to go to the grocery store, you don't have to buy all of these things all over again. You have to do an inventory of your fridge, right? Who's still with me? Everybody still with me? Give me a thumbs up or on the screen or, all right, cool. So this is what I'm going to make for breakfast and I'm going to make it the entire week. Now this recipe, it doesn't let you change it per serving, but that's fine because this is fairly simple to make right here, right? So once you have all these items and you put it on your grocery list, you go grocery shopping and we will talk about the final list in a minute, right? But then you come back and you can make this in the morning. This isn't something that you have to do. Hold on, let's go back. So save the photos. So it's overnight. So it would be overnight. So you make it the night before. So place the matcha in a small bowl, add 1 tablespoon of hot water and whisk to make a smooth, silky paste. In a jar or container with a lid, combine the oats, chia seeds, yogurt, milk, and matcha paste and stir to combine. Add the frozen mango on top, cover, and refrigerate overnight. Optional, you can add 0-calorie sweetener for extra sweetness. And that's it. You can make 5 of these or 6 of these, of 7 of these, and you can leave them in your fridge and just take them out and take it with you in the morning. Make your life easy by preparing the night before. Remember, the morning routine, starting your day right, always starts the night before, right? So don't leave a mess in the kitchen if you know you're going to have to wake up and you're going to have to make breakfast in the morning. Like, do the work before you go to bed to make sure that when you wake up, your kitchen is clean, your workout shoes are by your door so you remember to go to the gym. You have everything prepared. You're not leaving a mess from the night before. Instead of you staying up for 2 hours watching freaking Suits on Netflix, maybe clean up the area around you. Make sure that everything is in order so when you wake up and you go to the kitchen to make your breakfast, it's easy to make, right? So let's swap this one out. So boom, I just swapped it out. So you see day 1, matcha overnight pudding. I'm going to swap out day 2 as well because that's what I want to have all week. And I bought a lot of it. And see, there's a bunch of different ones too. This one's a mocha overnight pudding. All right. But I'm going to do the matcha one because I bought ingredients for it. So that's what I want to have this week. All right. And again, I don't have to have it all week. Like scrambled eggs with salsa and potato. Maybe I have the ingredients that I need for that. And I can set that for day 2, right? For day 2, I'm going to just do another matcha because I already bought and I already made a bunch of it last night. Day 3, you know what? I'm going to get a little creative. I'm going to make a quesadilla supreme. For this one, there is a video. Cheese slices on a tortilla, sliced turkey, ham. When you buy deli meat, always go to the deli. Don't get the prepackaged stuff. Go to the deli and get them to actually slice the meats for you. The prepackaged stuff has super high sodiums and a lot of preservatives. Always go to the deli and have them slice the meat for you. Okay. If you're going to buy deli meat. So like it says, thin sliced turkey ham, Avocados raw, California. Pepper sweet red raw. Peppers sweet green raw. Swiss reduced fat cheese slices. And tortilla Ezekiel 4x9 or 4x9 sprouted grunt tortillas. Now, remember, I don't have to follow this to the T. If I go to the store and they don't have the tortilla Ezekiels, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I guess I'm not going to make this. I can find other tortillas that are fairly similar. The goal of all this is just to get as close as you can, right? Now, if I go and I buy the cheese and it's not reduced fat, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. You're only adding 4.5 slices per meal. You're not going to have a whole block of cheese. That is okay. I promise you that. Now, let's say that, you go to the store and they don't have the red peppers. That's fine. You can just add more to the green peppers if you want. So this one's fairly simple. So I'm going to have that for day 3. Okay. So now I have my breakfast kind of selected, right? Now we're going to prepare lunch. Let's find something for lunch that I can prepare for 7 days. Call one out if you see one that you like. I think I might do the chicken chorizo tacos. No. Let's see. Beef and broccoli. So some of these, it already has a serving size for you. Let me see if it changes it once I have it selected. I crunchy chicken. All right, let's see. Yeah, so here you can change the serving size. So let's do crunchy chicken or crunchy orange chicken salad. And now I'm going to prepare all 5 days because Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to make something different based off everything that I have in my kitchen. And I can still use these recipes, right? But I'm going to do 5 days, right? So let's just say that today is Sunday, or let's just say it's Saturday and you need to prepare for this for Sunday. So Saturday night or Sunday morning, you can go here. You can prepare your week. Boom, you're going to have this for lunch. So you have 5 servings. You have all the ingredients. And damn, this one looks a little complicated, right? Don't let this scare you. Directions, okay, very simple directions. In a large bowl, toss together chopped lettuce, shredded red cabbage, chopped chicken, mandarin orange segments, crushed ramen noodles, shredded carrots, sliced green onions, and sliced almonds. In the blender, add vinegar, honey, sesame oil, hoisin sauce, soy sauce, ginger, garlic, and oil. Blend until emulsified. Before serving, drizzle dressing over salad and toss to combine. All right, so with this one, my recommendation is if you truly want the salad to taste as amazing as it looks, try and follow it to a T. Like truly try. However, with salads, you don't want to necessarily do 5 servings. And the reason why is by day 4, that salad may not taste as great as it did on day 1. Right? So maybe for the salad, we're going to do 3 servings. Okay. And because you've been doing the meal prep, because you've been buying groceries, because you've been buying them in large amounts, maybe on day 4 and day 5, we'll look for another recipe that we have in here that you have a lot of those ingredients at home, right? So we're going to do 3 days of this. So now we have everything we need here, right? So oranges, mandarin, or tangerine raw, 1 1/8 cup of instant lunch chicken flavor ramens, shredded carrots, vegetable oil, sliced almonds, rice with vinegar, honey, soy sauce. So let's just say we're starting from fresh, right? So bam, another screenshot. And now we know how much we need and what we need for this recipe. Now, keep in mind, you're not just going to buy 1 1/8 of a clove of garlic. You might buy 3 or 4. They're going to last you for about a week or 2 if you package them the right way in the fridge, and we're going to talk about that. So now we have something that we're going to have for lunch, right? We took a screenshot of it. Now let's go to dinner. Okay, so dinner. Let's swap this out. Let's see what looks good for dinner. So I'm going to try. Well, I love pad thai. So let's do the pad thai for dinner. There's a quick little video. And if you're noticing a trend here, a lot of the ingredients from this meal, you're going to use them for lunch meal for that salad as well, right? So now you can still take a screenshot of this, but a lot of these ingredients are in that lunch list as well, okay? So once you have your screenshot, once you decide that you're going to swap this out, okay, so swap it out. And actually, I'm going to delete that screenshot because I have to change the amount, right? So now I'm going to go here, and I'm going to change the serving. And I want to have this all week, to be honest, right? So I'm going to actually do 7. And now it updated all the ingredients for me. Okay, so if I do 1, you're gonna notice the changes. Boom. Now it's half a cup of chopped zucchini. But if we do 7, it tells you 3.5 cups of chopped zucchini. Right? So screenshot this. And now I have everything I need for this recipe. Okay. Now here is the part you got to remember. Once you swapped it out, if you're going to have that for all 3 days, you want to swap out all the other ones too, right? Now, let's just say that I swap out. So what did we have here? We had the crunchy orange chicken salad and pad thai balance. So if we're going to have this, we're going to swap out this one as well. So we can type in, I'm going to type in orange because I know it's going to pop up that way. Boom, swap. Okay. We're going to swap out dinner. There we go. Swap out. And then we're going to do the same thing for day 3, right? But let's come back to day 1. So now you have your list, okay? And I have the screenshots of it. So now I know that what I need for my breakfast. Now I know what I need for my lunch, right? And now I know what I need for my dinner. So once you have those lists, I like to pull out the old notepad. So you're going to take a notepad. And the reason you do a notepad is because it's very much easier to keep track of everything if you have a notepad, right? Let me get some light on this. So just take a notepad and write everything out, like as detailed as possible. Go through each list. And if you see that you need 1 cup of chopped zucchini raw, add 1 cup in here. And then you can add more if you know you're going to have more of this recipe. Now, remember, because you're meal prepping, because you're not eating out every day, the food's not going to go bad on you. You can buy vegetables, and as long as you're using them within a week or week and a half, they're going to be fine. Okay? You got to remember, like, you're not eating out as often as you were before. You can buy larger amounts of these meals, of these ingredients, cilantro, yellow onion, olive oil you would buy in a large container, right? The green onion, vinegar, rice, maybe not as much of that if you're not going to use it as often in these types of recipes. But you can buy a lot of these things. And what I suggest you do, in my opinion, is hire a food delivery service. Now, there's a lot of different food delivery services out there. And depending on what state you live in, I have Jewel Osco as an option. Uber Eats now delivers groceries as well from Aldi's, Costco. I believe Target even does deliveries now. There's a lot of different delivery services. And the reason why I've started doing this is because honestly, you think that you're saving money by you going to the grocery store. Coach JP said, oh, it just came in now. How weird. Anyway, we started half an hour ago. Did everybody else just get that right now?
Yeah, I happened last week as well. So
what about now? Did anybody else just get it right now? You did? Jesus. Well, as you can tell, I sent it earlier. That's weird.
That's odd.
Maybe I have to send it in half an hour early. All right.
Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah. So, what was I saying? All right. So you think you're saving money. We're going to pause. I don't like talking to just the phone, so I'm going to turn it around on me here. So you think you're saving money when you don't get the food delivery service, but in truth, think about it. If you go to the grocery store and you end up buying 2 things that you weren't going to buy, that you didn't need, that you know are not good for you, the freaking Swiss rolls, the Oreo cookies, a snack item that you just felt in the moment because you went to the grocery store hungry, you've just spent more than you would have spent if you paid the extra $8, $9, $10 on the delivery service and the tip. Always tip. Be nice, right? And when you don't go to the store, you don't leave yourself that option of possibly buying something that you don't need, right? Now, you can make up a reason of why you don't want to do the delivery service. It's expensive. Sometimes they substitute meals. You know, sometimes they don't have all the stuff that I want. They don't pick the best vegetables, whatever. Those are small little things that are not enough of a big reason for you to not meal prep, right? Now, if you want to challenge yourself and you want to go to the store, then great. But keep in mind, most of the ingredients that you need are not going to be found in the aisles. Okay. Now, yeah, maybe the avocado oil, or if you're going to buy tortillas because you're going to have some of the taco recipes, fine. But understand, most of the ingredients you need are going to be found on the outside of the store. All right. In the deli section, the meat section, in the section with all the produce. You don't have to go through all of the aisles and pick up items that you don't need or want. And typically the items in the aisles are the items that last for a long time, right? So if you're going to buy oatmeal, you're going to have that last you for probably a month, maybe even longer if you buy a large oatmeal tub. There's a lot of different ways that you can do that. And as I mentioned in the app, you can do serving sizes from 1 to 7 meals. You don't have to always prepare in bulk. I prepare in bulk because that helps for busy schedules, right? But make sure you have ample storage space. Let me just go through my list, make sure we're good here. I want to go through everything. Time-saving tips. Always, when you order the meals, right? So you have your list of items. You made your grocery list. You put it all into an app and the food got delivered to you, right? For the first week, see how long the food took to get delivered to you. And if it took too long, then remember that next week, you got to order it maybe Saturday night or Saturday morning, right? So the food gets delivered to you, even if you have to store it overnight, and then you wake up in the morning and you put it on your calendar, because that's another tip. Put your meal prep time on your calendar and schedule out. If you think it's going to take you 2 hours, schedule for 3 hours, right? And as you get better with the recipes, and as you get better in the kitchen, it's going to take you less and less time. It's also going to take you less and less time the longer you do it, right? Because if you've been prepping for a while, maybe you're starting to realize that you really love using this specific recipe that always calls for green peppers or onions, right? So maybe you chop up a bunch of those onions and green peppers and you have them ready to go, because now you're getting to a point where you're becoming like a chef. I think about it, a chef becomes a chef through all the schooling that they go through, but part of it is spending time in the kitchen. The same way that you feel more confident when you go to the gym, because now you understand how that dumbbell needs to move. Now you know how to use that weird ass machine that you had never even used before. You're going to get more confident in the kitchen. It's all about the reps. If you keep thinking that, oh, well, I'll do it next week, or, I'll start doing it next week, that's the same thing as if you were saying, oh, I'll go to the gym next week, or I don't have time for going to the gym this week. It's the same principle with meal prep. The kitchen is a workout. You got to put the reps in. You got to get better at doing it. I promise you, the more you do it, the better you'll get. You'll realize that there's tips and tricks to it. One of the tips that I suggest for everyone to do is when you start the meal prep, right? You got all the food in, and now you have all these meals all over your table. Use your dining room table to lay it all out. Lay everything out on the dining room table. And then go through your recipes and decide which one you're going to make first. If you're going to prepare your breakfast because you decide to do meal prep for breakfast, then do that. Meal prep your breakfast. Get everything that you need, all the ingredients, right? And always prep your protein first. So cut, season, and marinate your proteins first. They often are the ones that take the longest to cook. So start with your proteins, right? So if we know that let me see here. If we know that we're going to be making the steak and noodles for dinners at night, and the lunch and the breakfast are a salad with something very simple, maybe we're going to make the dinner first, right? And the same way that you've learned that when you go to the gym and the barbell is always taken, so you realize, all right, I'm going to start with dumbbells and cables, I'm going to finish with barbell. Or maybe you realize that you got to get there early so you can do the treadmill because it's always taken by the high school kids. You got to think that way in the kitchen too. If you know that your wife likes to make food around this time, maybe have a conversation with her and say, honey, can we make these foods together at this time? Or maybe you tell your son, hey, listen, I know you like to make your protein shakes around this time, but I need the kitchen. So do me a favor, do it later, right? Talk to your loved ones. You're also going to get better understanding, like, all right, maybe it's not a great idea to make my meals while I'm really hungry because I'm not paying attention. I just want to eat something. Maybe it's also not a great idea to make your meals after you have a lunch because maybe you're really full and the last place you want to be is around food, right? So find that best time to make your meals. For me, it's typically around 11 a.m. Reason being is on Sundays, I'll wake up and if I'm not working, I'll get my workout in, then I'll have my breakfast. And then typically around 11 a.m., I'm not hungry, but I'm not in a stage of I'm too full, so I have enough energy to make my meals for the week, right? So prep your proteins first, multitask, use multiple cooking methods. So if you have a stove and there's a recipe that calls for an oven, you can use those at the same time. Make sure you set timers. There's kitchen timers that you can buy. I have something called the Pomodoro timer, which basically I can set it to whatever I want. And I use this a lot, but 10 minutes. And I start it and it starts counting down. Now, this is not one I would suggest for the kitchen because sometimes timers like this are very hard to maneuver if you're trying to do it fast, but there are small little kitchen timers you can use, right? Use quick cooking gadgets like Instant Pots or air fries for faster meal preparation. And by the way, let me share that with you. So let's look at what that looks like. Let's share the screen again. I could show you on the phone, but I feel like we need to move past the phone for 1 minute. Share screen, Safari, share. All right, so let's look at a recipe that we're going to filter out. So, all right, so right here, the filter option, same thing as it is on the phone. You click on it. It's already selected for breakfast because we're working on breakfast right now, right? We're going to look for something that takes maybe only up to 30 minutes. We have different options for dietary preferences. On mine, I exclude fish and shellfish. Why? Just because it's not my favorites. But you can exclude other items as well. You can choose high fiber. You can choose one pot, which is the style of making your foods. Instant Pot, slow cooker. So let's see slow cooker, right? Because maybe you bought a slow cooker. Apply it. It's not showing me any because I set it to, guess why? Up to 30 minutes. And a slow cooker, as we know, it's a slow cooker, so it takes longer. So let's apply it. All right, what am I still doing wrong here? Oh, you know what? There's probably no slow cooker options for breakfast. So let's look for slow cooker options. Okay, cool. Let's look for dinner. All right, we have 3. We have the Happy Bowl, Instant Pot, Ramen with Chicken, Instant Pot, and Lazy Lasagna. Sam, have you had any of these?
I like the lazy lasagna one.
Let's check it out. So boom, there's a video. Very simple. Olive oil, garlic, onions. All right, and as you can see, it's a bit of a longer video because you have to add everything little by little, right? But let's swap it out so we can change the serving size. So now I'm swapping it out. And boom, it's in here. Oh, it's set it as breakfast. So that's my mistake. Don't do what I just did. So let's fix this mistake. Let's swap this back out for a breakfast item. And let's go back to dinner and swap out dinner for lazy lasagna. Is everybody still with me or are you guys sleeping by now? Take yourselves off mute if you're with me. Take yourselves off mute and let me know how you guys are liking this so far.
Really helpful.
Good. I know that this feels very mundane and it's like, well, this isn't interesting. I'm not here yelling in your face. I'm not inspiring you. But this is the freaking thing that like everybody misses on. They want to do it and there's so many benefits to this, but everybody misses on this because it's boring, because it feels like work, right? Because they feel like they have to do the recipe a certain way because maybe they don't have an experience in the kitchen, but it's the same thing as going to the gym. Everybody at one point in time picked up a dumbbell for the first time. Aaron, you were doing the home workouts and look at you. You're freaking killing it in the gym. Am I right? Give me a thumbs up. Where you at, Aaron? That's right. Like it's all about the reps. So right, we switched out the lazy lasagna and we're going to do it for 7 servings. And the reason why I'm going to do 8 servings. And here's why. I'm going to prepare this for me and my wife for 4 days, right? Or maybe 5 days. So this is 10 servings right here, right? Gives you all the ingredients. And like I said, if it's not perfect, it's not perfect, right? Let's just say that I don't have any rosemary. All right, maybe I skipped the rosemary, but remember, if you want it to taste as good as it looks right here, try and get it as close as you can. And then the directions are right here, right? So this is my breakfast, right? This was my lunch. This was my dinner. Now let's go back to the phone. Give me 1 second. Let's see what else I want to share with you guys. Always separate raw and cooked foods. Make sure you avoid cross-contamination. I would suggest using color-coded chopping boards for different food types. That way you're not putting chicken on the board where you're cutting your vegetables. Observe use by date strictly. If a meal doesn't smell or look right, better to be safe and discard it. Again, this happens a lot when you make your lunches and then you forget to take your lunch with you, or you take your lunch with you, but then somebody brings in donuts and then you're like, oh, I'll eat it tomorrow. Well, guess what you just did? You just created one of your meals to possibly be thrown away because you pushed it to the side. You got to be diligent with your meals. If you made it, eat it. You're throwing money away when you do that. Okay. All right, let's see. What I suggest is each morning or night, consult the itinerary meals for the day. Again, that's not something you have to do if you're doing it for the week, right? You can use small food containers to portion out meals. This can help with portion control. And then I do suggest you guys buying special containers for your meals. And the ones I suggest are going to be glass, BPA-free containers. So glass, BPA-free. And for a while, I was looking for some, hold on. So for a while, these are the ones I was using, right? However, what I came to realize about these is that the lids tend to wear really quickly because of all these latches that they have, and 2 of them broke on me. So I ended up losing these a lot, right? These right here, where they're at, I'm trying to find specific ones. I think it's these. Yeah, so you'll find it doesn't have to be these. But remember, the container has to be glass and the lid can be plastic because that's not something you're putting in the microwave, right? You're going to take the lid off. And if you're going to keep the lid on, understand that that isn't the healthy way to do it because the plastic is not BPA free. Okay, but the glass is. But you can put those in the microwave. You can even put those in an oven if you have a small little oven at work or at home too. So you can put these in an oven and make sure that you understand that you got to wear gloves or something like that if you're going to take it out of the oven, or put oven mitts on. But these right here, or any ones like this, the only ones I don't necessarily recommend are these, just because these specific ones, the Elo ones, the latches on these broke from me fairly quickly. So again, it could be any one of these. I would just recommend ones that maybe aren't the Elo ones. The Elo ones did not work for me very well. And stay away from these. These right here, the plastic ones that are like, prep containers, these you got to literally throw away almost after every meal. Number one, when you wash them, you're not going to wash them properly because they're very hard to wash, just the way that they're kind of made. And then also, if you put them in the dishwasher, they're very likely to melt unless you put them at the top. And they're not BPA free. They're not healthy. They have a lot of contagions. Can't say that word right. But stay away from those. Yeah, stay away from those. And then these with dividers are great for snack food, but I wouldn't use them for meals. The reason being is that if you notice, like, they're already dialed out for certain foods, and I would rather just have one large one. That way I'm not limited to what I can put in there. Okay. Now, if you want to buy these for snacking, that's great. But I do suggest ones that are more like this, that you can have a whole area, and don't use them for donuts. Okay, let's move back over here. All right, so let's get back to the app, actually. And don't worry, I know that this is boring, but I promise you, if you apply these things, it's going to get better with time and you're going to enjoy it. So let's switch back here. Stop sharing screen. Stop share. All right. Take yourselves off mute if you've already started doing meal prep, and let us know what has been your biggest struggle so far. What has been the hardest thing that you've noticed about meal prep?
Sam, I can go first.
Go ahead, Sam.
Already on it. So for me, I didn't follow the instructions too clearly for the most part. For a lot of my Instant Pot meals, I'd skip some steps or try and do things in a more efficient way that works in my head, and it would taste a little off. So I've learned to live by two words when it comes to meal prep: smoked paprika. It helps out a ton for my taste buds, at least. So for most meals, I cook them. It's good. I'm a little bit more picky with my seasonings, so a little bit of smoked paprika, and I got the smokiness that I want, and it's been making the meals that I've been cooking much more. They're already enjoyable, but making them even more enjoyable and more appeasing to my palate.
Sorry, the timer's going off. All right, I love that. And let me ask you, before you started meal prepping, before you started following the recipes, were you comfortable in the kitchen, or are you much more comfortable now?
I I was comfortable in different ways then and now. So back then I was good at making whatever meal for the most part, kind of half-assing it to be honest. Now
Mhm.
I'd say much more intentional with my processes in prepping the meals. So my routine is Fridays, I look at the app, pick out the meals that I want to eat during the week. I usually just eat the same thing for most days
Yeah,
just because my schedule. On iPhones, if you take a screenshot, you're actually able to copy text. So I copy that
right.
text into a note or whatever, adjust portion size, make it all make sense, and then Friday night or Saturday morning, I change it up and uh, so I shop at Aldi. So I go online and it's like I'm buying stuff on Amazon. I'm just going, how much carrots do I need? Three pounds, a lot of carrots. Blah blah blah. Go down my list, press order, and then later that day, groceries are at the door, and I just cook the next day or same day if I have time.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sam. That's very helpful. And honestly, like it's the same as going to the gym. Like you get more comfortable the more you do it. Don't avoid it. There's a lot of benefits to this, as I mentioned. And as Sam mentioned to you, like it's a game changer once you realize what you truly enjoy. And he's been eating a lot of the same recipes and it's gotten better with time. And yeah, I love that you do the grocery list. I love that. So thank you for reminding me of that. I forgot that. So if you have an iPhone, I don't know how the hell it works on Androids. I'm sorry.
I'm
But
sure
if
they
you
have
have,
it.
yeah, but if you have an iPhone, you can click on the recipe or yeah, the ingredient list. You can take the screenshot. So let's do a screenshot. And you can actually go to the screenshot and you can actually copy the text or select it. That was interesting.
I
Oh,
think you
look
have
at
to do it
this.
within the actual Photos app. Oh, wait,
Yeah, but
it can
look at
convert
this.
it?
Yeah, this is new.
Oh, that solves a problem I had.
So it tells you. So if you click on, let's see, 2 tablespoons of vinegar rice. So it tells you that 2 tablespoons is, oh, wow. Look at this, dude. Pretty cool, huh? It's 1 tablespoon. Tells you how much it is and everything else. Milliliters, cubic centimeters. All right, cool. So let's go back over here. So here's a full list. Click on crop. You can let's so then you go through here, you copy all this, copy, then go back to notes because I started in notes already. Grocery list, paste. And now you have in here what you need for that specific recipe. And remember, before you copy and paste it, if you need to change the servings, change the serving amount for how many days you want to do it for. Okay. Now, as you can see, let's just say that I chose this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Once you've ate this and made it, all you got to do is click 8 today, and it has logged it for you. 8 today, logged it for me. Now, if you made pad thai and you had the protein in there for sure, and you had the zucchini and everything that's in there, but let's just say that you missed on adding the there's no way you wouldn't want the soy sauce in there, but let's just say you missed on the yellow onions, right? That's fine. 8 today, you still put it in there. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for you to make progression, right? So now you go back to today, and as you can see, look at that. I still have 33 remaining calories in case I want to have a little snack, right? I still have 20 grams of protein that I could have if I want to get past the 150, because again, the 20% variance is meant to get you as close as possible without going over. I still have 7 grams of carbs if I want to have that. I still have 12 grams of fats in case I have something else. So again, if you see this and it says 20 grams remaining It doesn't mean that you have to hit 20 more grams to be perfect. This is fine, right? Now let's go in here and let's remove one of these meals. Let's remove this dinner, right? Delete. Now let's just say that I'm meal prepped and I had my breakfast and I had my lunch. But you know what? It's time for date night and my wife wants to go out for dinner somewhere, or maybe someone else's husband wants to take them out or whatever. That's fine. You go out to dinner, and when you are at the restaurant, click plus, add meal. You can take a photo of the meal. Obviously, there's no photo here, so I'm going to skip the photo. Sam, what happens when you take the photo in your experience?
I haven't done that actually.
Has
I wouldn't
anybody
know.
done the photo? I've never done the photo, but other people have told me that it actually adds it all up for you. Does it recognize what's there? No? Here, I have an idea here. Let's see this.
What if you
Somebody-
load up a photo on your computer of some food?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, this is craziness here, but let's see. Let's load up. Let's see this.
Why don't you try a Chick-fil-A sandwich or something?
Okay, cool. Well,
That might be more recognizable. I don't know.
I'm gonna do a plate that's very easy to see what's on there. Bacon potato. So this you can. I don't know if you can see here, but let's see. So let's take the photo. And nope, it does not. So that's okay. You don't have to do the photo, but I would do the photo, and here's why. Right? So let's just say that this is the place that I always like to go for dinner. Now, what do we have here? A lot of people are like, well, I don't know how to measure this. I don't know, how much it is. I don't exactly know, if I should add it or if I'm doing it the right way or the wrong way. Guess what? It doesn't have to be perfect, but I need you to log it. I need you to try as best as you can. So we're going to look at the photo, but also look at the phone right here, right? I'd rather you be able to see the phone. So we took the photo, and if it's something you have often, you can set it as a favorite, which we'll explain later. But it's not a Chipotle burrito, and this is going to pull up all the recent things that you've had. So it says, what's in this meal? So let's just say that on the menu that I ordered, it says, 12-ounce strip steak, or maybe it's carne asada, right? So let's just do carne asada because you're at a taco restaurant. And right here, it gives you carne asada by Street Tacos, which is a specific restaurant, right? And let's just say that you're not at one of these specific restaurants, all right? We can still do carne asada and one serving. If you do one serving of carne asada, that's fine. It's not the end of the world if it's 1.5, 1.25. That's fine. We're doing one serving. So we just added that. What else is in the meal? Well, we have some mashed potatoes with butter. So we're going to do mashed potatoes. If I could type. All right, now here you can see it says mashed potatoes made with whole milk. Now, we don't know if they're made with whole milk or not. Now, we don't know exactly if it's instant or what it is, okay? All you got to do is just find one that looks as close as what you're having, okay? Now, we're going to go through here. And something else we can do is let's just say that we are eating at Chili's. So we'll go back to the whole mashed potatoes theme, but let's just say you're at Chili's, right? And you ask for the fajita steak. It's already in here as an option. Or the steak classic sirloin 10 ounce by Chili's. It's already in there, right? Fajita grilled steak by Chili's, bacon ranch steak by Chili's. All of these are already in there, pre-done, right? Obviously, if you're going to have, let's just say mashed potatoes by Chili's. So we'll do Chili's. Is it 1L? Yeah, it's 1L. Mashed potatoes. All right, side mashed potatoes by Chili's. Boom, we're gonna add it in there, right? Now let's review. 340 calories with the carne asada, even though it's technically could be from Chili's, right? And then we have the side mashed potatoes by Chili's, 31 grams, 26 grams of protein, 19 grams of carbs, 17 grams of fats. We're going to log it as dinner, right? And now you can see we have 189 remaining calories. We have 21 grams left for protein, and we have 237 grams left for carbs and 8 grams over on fat. That's all right. You didn't ruin anything. You did great. But let's go back to the meals. And let's just say that this is what we're always going to have when we go to Chili's because we really like it, right? You can go ahead and click on the little 3 dots right there at the right and save to favorites. And you're going to name it, let's just say Chili's favorite. Just pretend it says favorite. And now it's in there as a Chili's favorite. You can also copy it to other days. So let's just say that you haven't swapped out your other days. You can click on those right there. You copy to another day. And you can select it this many days if you want. You can do 1 day. Well, it doesn't let you do multiple days. So I'm going to copy it to tomorrow. So now it's in there for tomorrow as well. And that's how you log your meals if it's not necessarily a meal that's already in here. Okay. Now click on the little dots right here. And I want to show you guys one more thing in here, right? So if you go on the little dot and there's something else I want to show you. Where is it at? Where was it? There's something else. I'm trying to remember where it is. Maybe it'll come to me. There's a place where you can actually hit discovery and it pulls up meals for you. Let me close out the app and see if it opens up the right way. I can't find where I'm looking for. Oh, by the way, you can now start adding your sleep in here manually if you don't have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit that logs it for you. So you just hit sleep every morning, you put your bedtime and your wake up time, and you can save it that way. Okay, so then you hit sleep and it logs it for you. Okay.
I think I know how to find what you were looking for.
Where is it?
Go to add meal. And on the right, bottom
Yes.
right, you should see it. Yep.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
So you can go to recents if you've added a recent meal, as you can see the dinner from yesterday or from today, the lunch, the breakfast. So you can add a meal. Your favorites are in here as well. So the Chili's favorite and then the Chipotle burrito. And you can also discover. So discover right here is going to give you new meals that may not be in your specific meal plan, but they also account for your calorie goal, your protein, your fats, your calories, protein, fats, calories, carbs, and it's already done here for you. So some of these might be new. You can discover some of these meals and they're updated fairly frequently. And you can also check out right here. So for example, zucchini stew, you have a balanced one and one that's high protein. If it's high protein, you're going to have less carbs in there. Okay. I don't want you to do that type of decision on your own. If you want to go high protein, low carbs, that's something that I want you to talk to me about. But you have a lot of different options in here. Stuffed zucchini, simple protein shake. Some of these may not be in the swap option. So you can see that they're in here. Let's just say we see one that we like that looks interesting because they're always adding new ones in here. Steak hash, low carb. Let's click on that one. Okay, looks good. I'm going to add it as a favorite. So now it's in my favorites. So now I go to my favorites. And there it is. All right. So now it should pop up. Let's see if it pops up in the meals.
It's 7 o'clock.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm about to end this soon. Don't worry, guys. It's in here now. And it can also just pop up over here. So if you hit add meal and you hit meal and you hit discover, you can find something like this. You can make this meal All right. You can have it. You can log it. So you click on that and then you hit log. And then you just logged it, right? So I'm going to replace existing because I already logged in, so I'm going to replace it. And there it is. Now, this might have felt very mundane and very boring. And I know it's not typically the type of high energy that I give you guys, but all of this is very important. It's very important because the more you put off meal prep, the more you keep telling yourself, like, I just can't do it, or I don't get it right, or it's boring for me. Like, the longer you're putting off a lot of progress that you can make for yourself. And I promise you, it's fun if you make it fun. So to wrap all this up, I want you guys to stay committed. I want you guys to go through the app, and everybody that's in here, I want you guys to find something that looks amazingly delicious for you. Find the favorite thing that looks delicious for you. It could be a breakfast, it could be a lunch, or it could be a dinner. Click on it, screenshot it, and then save it to the group or post it on the group and tell everybody that you're going to make it. And then once you make it, come back and post a picture of the plate that you made. All right. You can meal prep for it. So once you have your list, you do your grocery shopping, you make your meals, you store it in your fridge. And what I like to do is I put blue painter's tape on all of my containers, because then I can write the day that I'm going to eat it. So I put Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? Some people like to put lunch, breakfast, dinner, so they know that it's that item. But I like to do it by days because it's easier for me to see the date on there and I see exactly what it is. That way I eat my Tuesday before my Friday meal. And that way I keep staying consistent with all my meals and I don't miss a day, because if I miss a day and it's Wednesday and it's Tuesday, that reminds me that I messed up, right? That way I don't want to mess up. So I stay consistent with it. Let's take ourselves off mute and ask some questions. Let's ask some questions to wrap up the day. Let's get some energy going. Let's get some value. If you took some value out of this, feel free to unmute yourselves and let me know your biggest takeaway. Don't all speak at once. Heather, what was your biggest takeaway today? You know I'm going to call on you. Ask to unmute. Okay, click that. Go ahead.
What did I learn that I guess I learned how to make something a favorite.
Yeah.
How to make something a favorite. Like, I do most of my stuff off of my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know how to make a meal a favorite.
Now you know. So now you can set it as a favorite, so you don't have to go and search for it all the time. And if you have something from a restaurant, or if you make your own meal, you can make a meal and make it a favorite. Does that make sense? That way you
Right.
can
I make a
save it
lot of, like,
automatically.
I make my own.
So there you go. So that helps in a lot of ways, because now you don't have to go in there and log every single thing. If you've already made it before, it's saved as a favorite, easy to log it.
Right.
Aaron, any takeaways? Roberto? Joe?
I learned that you could change the serving size, which pretty much takes the guesswork of how much to buy. That was my biggest problem.
I'm glad that came out. I'm glad that you learned that, and I'm glad that now you have something you can apply moving forward, right? What about you, Joe? Joe, if you're busy, I understand. Maybe you got the kids with you. But Aaron, what'd you take away from this?
Sorry.
That's okay. Let me ask you this. No, let me ask you this. Is there anything in there that kind of interested you, right? Like maybe you've always wanted to use your Instant Pot that, maybe your mom bought you years ago that you've never used, or maybe you've always wanted to try, a specific type of smoothie. But is there anything in there that maybe you're excited to try out now that you have a better idea of how to use the meal prep portion?
Yeah, there's the different meals and stuff like that that look a lot more interesting now that I can go and discover more of what's in there than what's just listed for me.
Good. And every meal that's in there already accounts for your specific macros. That's the best part. You don't have to guesstimate of, weighing your foods and is this too much or is this too little. If it's in there, your macros are already accounted for. So as long as you're looking at something for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, even the Discover option, your specific protein goal for the day will be met if you have one of the things from there. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have something extra. You can have a snack, just add it in there. And if you go over a little bit, that's fine. But then we can look back and we can see, like, okay, maybe we see that every Friday you're consistently going over. Why is that? And then we do the check-in and then we see, and then we can see that every Friday you're going out with dinner and you keep getting the, never-ending pasta from Olive Garden or whatever. And that's why that's happening. So then we build a different type of routine and we talk about it. And that's how you actually make life-changing decisions. The kitchen is like the gym. You got to get used to it. You got to get more comfortable there. Find what works for you. For example, Joe, his HIIT workout was so much better this last time around because he threw on some techno, right? So if you find something, and you better experiment here, but if you find something that works for you in the kitchen, replicate it. I know for a fact that for me, I have a hard time in the kitchen if I have other people in the kitchen as well. Forget about it. I get annoyed. I forget what's what. They're in my way. And then I get mind like boggled, and I just can't operate that way. So for me, I like to have the kitchen for myself. And I take my computer down there with me, and I either throw on a movie or I throw some TV on, because that's the only time I get to really enjoy TV. I don't sit on my couch. My ass is never on my couch. Only time I'm on my couch is when I'm feeding my daughter or I'm with Oliver. But honestly, I never sit down to I bought this big ass TV. It's like 70 inches, whatever. I don't watch it. So I bring my computer, and when I'm making my meals, that's when I watch something, because I can still stay focused enough and I still stay concentrated enough to make my meals. I set my timers and I get everything right. And it's my domain. And people know that, right? So find what works for you. If that's playing music or playing salsa, or maybe you do it with your wife or your kids, try different ways that work for you. But I promise you, if you can get the meal prep down, I'm getting back into the motivation here. If you can get the meal prep down, like, you are going to completely change the way that your results are going to look 2 weeks from now, a week and a half from now. Like, that's where you truly get healthy. That's where you truly make sure that you eat enough. We think that we have to eat little. No, the body gets into a starvation mode, and then you put out what you put in. So if you think that you got to eat less and you eat very little carbs, very low protein, very low fats, very low calories, when you go to the gym and you do your workout, you have no idea how much better that workout would have been if you would have actually ate what you were supposed to eat, because that's what you know. That's your baseline. That's your norm. But if we can get you trying to get as close as possible to your proteins, your fats, your calories, your carbs, your workouts, I promise you, are going to be that much better, because you have more energy to burn, because you're actually putting things into your body that your body uses as fuel to have a great workout. When you get more steps in, same thing. So I'm wrapping it up. Thank you all for being here. I know I went over today, but honestly, this is a very important topic, because we keep missing it. We keep glossing over it. And I felt like I needed to have this conversation with you guys. And thank you guys all, for everyone who's here live. And if you're watching this on the replay, comment below your biggest takeaway. Take a screenshot of something in the recipes. And if you have any questions, this is the place to ask, in this comment section below. And same with here. If you guys are here and if you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Does anyone have any questions? Anything they'd like to know more about? A tip, a trick, anything like that while I'm here with you guys? All right, well, I expect all of you guys to be freaking chefs this upcoming weekend. Okay? Treat the kitchen like it becomes your best friend. Don't be afraid of it. The videos are there. The recipes are there. The ingredients are there. Find the best delivery service in your area if you're going to do the food delivery. And if you're going to do a grocery list and actually go to the grocery store, think of the best way that you're going to do that. It may not be with your wife and your kids. It may not be during rush hour traffic when everyone's at the store trying to buy things and you're going to get overwhelmed. Maybe it's going to be Saturday morning when your wife takes the kids to the park and now you have a little bit of time to go to the grocery store on your own, right? Or maybe you guys take turns. Maybe you are with the kids for a little bit because, she needs her time. And maybe the best time for you to do grocery store shopping is in the evening hours when the kids are doing bath time with your wife or your husband or whatever. Think of the best, most optimal time for you to make your grocery list, do the grocery store shopping, and make your meals. And the reason I keep repeating this is because you got to understand that only you know yourself, right? And what I tell you about like do your list this way and order online, maybe that doesn't work for you. Find what works for you. Play around with it a little bit. Follow the recipes. If you want to add some smoked paprika, go for it, right? Find what works for you. I love chicken and steak. Like I'm not a big fan of fish, but that's fine because I take omega-3 fish oils, and then I'm burping up fish all day. But that doesn't seem to bother me. But I don't enjoy the texture of fish, so I completely take fish out of my nutrition plan, right? I don't do any of the prepackaged deli meats. I don't buy the pack of turkey that people think is healthy because it's turkey. It's not. It's full of sodium. It's been in that freaking container for who knows how long, stored in the packaging in the plastic full of BPAs. That's not healthy for you. Stay away from that. If you're going to do deli meats, go to the deli. Have them freshly slice it for you. All right, guys. I feel like I'm a broken record at this point. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're watching this afterwards, comment below your biggest takeaway. And everybody here, once I post this video, go to the video and do me a favor and post your favorite meal that you're going to plan to make. And then once you make it, in the comment section, post another picture, okay? Thank you guys for being here. I hope you got some value. And I don't know, I might do a Facebook Live on Sunday around maybe like 7 or 8 p.m. It's my birthday. And I want to share that day and just say hi to you guys. So if you guys are free Saturday or Sunday in the evening, I'll be Facebook Live in it. All right, guys. Take care. Thank you all. Bye.